Greetings from Goblin Valley, Nissedal, Norway. I'm here so you don't have to be. This is sort of a recap of what I've done for the last week and a half. I have not posted any videos because sometimes you test stuff and it's not worth the video, and I test stuff all the time. And I tested the GR1 gas mods RDTA, and I want to do a review on it. I couldn't figure it out. It was just hot and spattery for me, and I didn't want to do it. And the Rebel recoil, you know, when an RDA has a block in the middle of the airflow that big, it's really not of any of my interest, and I don't think anybody who uses this want to hear my input on it anyway. So that fell through. Now you all saw my squeezer polish and fix video, and I'm sorry for using the word fix. In Norwegian it means a range of different things. I should have put modify, because we changed the flimsy contact with a beefy one, and the volt drop went from 0.52 volts 0.52 volts down to 0.41 volts by changing the L contact. And that took me places. I continued to modify it. I put some rubber behind the battery and on the side of the panel, so even if I squeeze it, it doesn't make any more plastic sounds. It feels like 10 times the quality now. I replaced the very flimsy bottle with the bottle from the Red Rampage from Purge mods, and it pops back so much more quickly. I had to modify the the tube by using a 3mm drill that I twisted between my fingers, so I could widen the hose of the Purge bottle to fit the big 510 squonk pin that comes down on this. So that was a little modification too. But placing the 502 on top of this makes this awesome. I'm in no doubt whatsoever. This is my best squonker. So yeah, that took time. And of course, because I could fix or modify this, I dug up my Dimitri, changed the spring, changed this, put some hemp fibers in the screw hole so the screw won't come out. And I saw that the contacts in the Dimitri was 0.24mm thick brass copper. And I changed them both with 1mm thick copper, and wow, does it hit! And that fix took me that modification took me some time too. The main part of what I've done, I admit this took me some days to build. It's I know, just laugh at me. It's okay. This is made from some wood, ash wood from the forest behind my house, and some copper tubing I found in the basement. You just split the tubes and you break them out and you hammer them flat. And this is a quad 2700, and it has a volt drop of only 0.3 volts. And that is really cool. So yeah, a bit of folk art, but these things takes time because every part has to be handmade with voltmeter, ammeter, and temperature readings from inside the battery chamber. Yeah. And then this Pulse 80 watt regulated squonk box arrived in the mail. And I was thinking about doing a review on this, but then I saw PAL 702's reviews from this, PAL 702. And if you want a thorough walkthrough of this box, watch his. I think it's 45-50 minutes, and it's really splendid. Watch it. But I discovered something. Because I was vaping these two side by side. And one of those, these two, went through some more milliliters of e-juice than the other one. And I changed the RDA and battery back and forth. I ended up using 3 different RDAs and same battery on both of them. And that took a lot of time. So that's my excuse for not publishing videos for 10, 12 days. I invite you, therefore, for an experiment. Not every one of you can do this, sorry. But if you have a regulated squonker and a mechanical squonker, modified or not, it's not important, that can use the same battery and the same RDA, I would like you to take the battery and RDA and vape until the battery is down to 3.6, 3.5-ish volts, and note how many milliliters of e-juice you consume. Then take the battery and RDA over to the other squonk box and vape the battery down to 3.5, 3.6 volts, what you usually vape it down to, and take a note of milliliters. What I want you to note in the commentary field is Mech squonk box, milliliters, regulated squonk box, milliliters. That's all the information we need. You can use dual coil, single coil, triple coil. If you have a dual battery, unregulated and regulated, please feel free to do the experiment. But you have to use the same batteries and the same RDA. And you need to state which is which and how many milliliters you get through on one charge only. That's the experiment. And in a week from now, I'll try to make some curves and statistics and have a look at the results. You know, when we look at chips like the DNA or the EHE or the Wendy Vape chip, you see numbers like, oh, it's 97% effective, it's 90% effective, it's 87% effective. Well, I don't trust those numbers anymore. So I would very much like to have a statistical base on the consumption of e-juice compared from a chip and mechanical, because in real life and when we can look at the bottles and physically see how much e-juice we consume, it's a very clear indication on the actual voltage drop or energy waste. Because as a final thought, I'd like to show you these pictures I took of the Wendy Vape Pulse 80 watt box, and I noticed that the chip, because this camera can see through objects and measure temperatures, the chip was at times hotter than the RDA on top, and that was really astonishing. So obviously there is a lot of energy going to waste in these chips in the regulated mods. Is it important? I don't know. We'll see the results, but I find it interesting. And to all of you who find this stuff interesting and find experimentation fun, let's do this experiment.